Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining the September 2024 ONINO Community Update. As always, we will give everybody a couple of minutes to join, and then I'm going to start the community update. So if everyone's just joined, we're going to wait a couple of minutes until everyone is able to join, and then we're going to start the community update. Thank you for your patience. All right, I would say let's start now. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. We are going to start the ONINO 2024 September community update. The year has been advancing quickly, and we have a lot of updates that we're happy to announce. So I would say let's jump right into the update of today. And today, Kai is going to go over the What is ONINO update.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alex, and hi everyone and welcome. And as always, for the new joiners, we're going to give a quick update on what we are doing at ONINO, what we are building, just to get everybody into the boat before we start off. So generally speaking, at ONINO, we want to make blockchain technology and tokenization easy and accessible to everyone. And usually the journey starts with the ONINO tokenization platform. That is a fully customizable web application that lets everyone launch their tokenization projects of any kind super quickly and easily. Just like, for example, Shopify did for online stores, we want to enable people to focus on their core competences and don't have to deal with infrastructure or technical hustles. So exactly like Shopify did for online stores, we want to provide a platform that allows everybody to focus on their actual project while still being able to leverage tokenization easily with a few clicks and without coding. And of course, fully compliant. And then usually when the first step is completed and you have tokenized, for example, some shares of your project, you created a utility token, whatever, then as your tokenization project grows, you usually need to integrate these tokens somehow, have to build some smart contracts basically to interact with the tokens that you are emitting. And that's where our ONINO developer platform comes into play. This is a tool for developers that makes blockchain development super straightforward and easy and just as fun as Web2 development. And it offers a broad set of toolkits like, for example, smart contract templates for the most common use cases, our own AI assistant that helps you to write smart contract code, a deployment suite that makes it super easy to bring your blockchain projects from testnet into production, and also a smart contract API that makes it super easy with a few clicks to integrate smart contracts into any system, no matter how old or legacy it may be, for example. And then in the long run, as a third step, our ONINO blockchain comes into play. This is a flexible and fast and especially graph-based EVM-compatible blockchain protocol that has on the one hand a global main chain, but on the other hand also allows everyone to easily create their own custom-tailored subchains. So for you as a user, this means that you can build a perfect blockchain infrastructure to meet the specific needs that your tokenization project has, exactly, whether it's performance, compliance, or you have a focus on, for example, scalability. And with that, we want to enable you to then to complete the picture, so to say, create a perfect underlying infrastructure for your tokenization project.
All right, perfect. Kai, thank you very much. And with that, I would say let's jump right into today's topics. First topic is going to be ONINO Sales. I'm going to give you a little update about what is happening at our sales front. Then I'm going to talk about events, upcoming events. Then we're going to talk about tokenization, blockchain, then ONINO content, and then at the end will be live question time. And I would say, without further ado, let's jump right into that. So what I want to bring into sales is that I want to show you what we are doing in the department of ONINO Sales, which is trying to sell, or not trying to, but selling ONINO's products for just a broader spectrum in the market and for growth for ONINO. And without going too much into the details, let's jump right into it. So I've clustered it into three things. On one hand, the tokenization platform, what it means for the blockchain, what it means for you as the ONINO community. And going from left to right, just as a little explainer, we are focusing on specific industries, and you are going to see that on the website as well. There is an industry segment where we have added real estate already, and we will be adding more and more. And the goal is here to look at specific industries and how we can help those, and to focus on their specific topics and see how we can implement tokenization there. Because tokenization is one of the major chosen aspect that we want to push forward for the ONINO blockchain. And therefore, there's going to be a couple of topics, for example, real estate, solar, startups, and many, many more. And the idea is to really specifically tailor it down for those companies and to see what their problems are, how we can solve them, and to sell to those specific industries. So if you see a more focused approach on one hand on the ONINO website, and on the other hand in those specific industry pages, you know what this means, and this is to help us to sell to those specific audience. And what it means for the blockchain, because it's interesting as well, is that we have major and very interesting proven use cases for the ONINO blockchain. So we're not starting with a empty protocol, but we are bringing traffic and relevance to the blockchain through those industry use cases. And what this means for the community is very interesting. How you can help here is that you can help us look for projects, companies, people that you know might benefit from tokenization. And if you get us in touch with them, you will be able to earn a commission. There will be more information in Telegram and the other channels soon, but we are happy to pay a commission to everyone that brings us a successful customer. So this is something that's very interesting to you. Each of you, or most of you, will have a job, have contacts. So if you know of any industry, any company that will benefit from tokenization, feel free to bring them in touch with us, and then we can do some good for you as well. And with that, let's jump right into the events segment. It's pretty short, or we'll make it short. In September, we have two events. On one hand, there will be the Token 2049 in Singapore, one of the, or maybe the biggest blockchain events. Kai, Lucas, and I are going to fly there. We're going to be there for a week. So we will do many encounters with people, companies at events, and try to network as much as possible to get to know many interesting people and projects and close partnerships. Then in September as well will be the second time Startup Supercharged. We don't know exactly when, but we will release it once time is due. Then in October, there will be an event with EY, more on that later, and ONINO and other companies. And in November, we are traveling to Lisbon to the Web Summit, one of the biggest tech conferences in the world, to do the same as we do in Token 2049 in Singapore, but not with blockchain focus, more of an industry agnostic focus. So it will be an eventful couple of months for the end of this year, or let's not say the end of this year, it feels wrong, but for the upcoming months. And we're looking forward to that. And with that, let's jump right into the tokenization update, and Kai is going to take over here.
Thank you, Alex. Let's jump right in. Just skip to the next slide, please. All right. Yeah, so you see it already in the heading. The tokenization marketplace development is in full swing currently. And I just want to give a quick update for everybody who may have missed the last community update. So we have found strong interest across different industries regarding what we currently call tokenization marketplaces or tokenized marketplaces. That basically means we provide an application to a business client who then in turn take, so to say, over and build their own new business based on that, and then launch different tokenization projects on their own on this marketplace, so to say. This is on the one hand super exciting, and as I personally think, very interesting, and also a very value-creating use case for blockchain and tokenization in general. And yeah, on the other hand, this is also extremely valuable for the ONINO blockchain and the ONINO ecosystem as a whole. as these clients that we are going to onboard here for the tokenization marketplaces serve as, you could say, highly incentivized ambassadors for the ONINO network, basically, because they are building their blockchain business straight up from the ground on this platform, and are highly incentivized to onboard more and more tokenization projects totally on their own. So this is a great multiplier for us as ONINO, as a community and as an ecosystem in general. So therefore, we're currently developing some of the features in advance and prepare our platform already for scaling, which is hopefully going to start soon when we onboard the first tokenization marketplace customers. And today, to give you a bit more transparency and to give you a bit more insights on what's actually happening behind the scenes, I just wanted to give you a few quick sneak peeks on what we have built so far. So for that, we could just quickly jump to the next slide, please. Yes, so generally an overview how the whole platform is basically structured. Imagine it like that. Our client, in this case in the admin dashboard, can super easily create a new project. They can add detailed descriptions, images, as you see here on the right side, or for example also documents, such as for example a white paper or different legal documents to be fully compliant. And then in the end, basically, all the end users who want to buy some tokens from the client basically can then browse the different projects and have this beautiful project page here on the right. And then they basically can view the different investment rounds. So for example, a first pre-seed round, a seed round, or whatever token emission the customer wants to issue. And then they can easily, as you know from our old tokenization platform, jump into the single sale view, so to say, and then buy their tokens with, for example, credit card or fiat payment methods, or also a lot of different other crypto tokens. So basically what we introduced, so to say, is a new layer that there are different projects who can then in turn themselves have multiple token sales or token issuances. And now we can have a quick look at the next feature we have been building recently, which is a community forum, quite interesting, especially, for example, for you as the ONINO community. We have basically built a full-fledged discussion forum where people can exchange themselves, get in touch, communicate with others, ask questions, get clarifications. So basically a fully fledged, integrated community building feature that we have for each project there. So you can see here, I can start different threads, start discussions with others, I can upvote, downvote posts, whatever, basically everything to have a vibrant community for tokenization projects on our platform. And let's have a look at the next feature. We also have integrated a fully working secondary marketplace, or a secondary market, you could say. So the users can then trade the tokens that they purchase directly from within the app in, yeah, as I said, kind of a secondary market. Currently what we have built are, so to say, kind of OTC trades from one user to the other. But we're also currently considering and planning a DEX integration. And this feature is also quite interesting because users basically don't even have to leave the app to purchase or sell their tokens, which can then all as well go over the ONINO platform, then in turn again increases the traffic and the usage of our future ONINO blockchain. And now let's have a look at my favorite feature that we have built quite recently since the last community update, which is what we call invisible wallets. So this is based on quite sophisticated computational algorithms, but super simply said, invisible wallets allow you to create self-custodial wallets using nothing but your phone number, for example, or your email or any social login that you have. And then basically, super simplified speaking, your private key, the private key of your wallet is then constructed, so to say, from this login identifiers that you get, or these login credentials. And yeah, why did we do this? So we have basically implemented these, invisible wallets to broaden the potential user base of the tokenization platform, and especially to drastically reduce the barrier of entry, foremost for non-Web3 natives, because definitely there's a lot of interest, as we found also from in buying tokens and participating in tokenization from, for example, non-Web3 native users, from basically elder users who may not be so comfortable with the whole process of setting up a complicated wallet like MetaMask, for example, managing the private keys or their recovery phrase and so on. And for these kind of users, basically just having a wallet that you can create with a single click or a single social login is the perfect solution to easily participate in tokenization. And yeah, you can definitely stay tuned. There are definitely other and further wallet options that we're considering right now that will also be implemented into the new tokenization platform soon. And yeah, if you have any input, basically, any ideas what you would like to see on a tokenization platform as a token buyer, or maybe also as someone who would like to launch a tokenization project with us, then just get in touch and give us your input. We're always looking forward to that. Thank you.
All right, and with the focus on tokenization, always comes the question of which infrastructure is it running and how are we progressing on the front of the ONINO blockchain itself. So let us jump right in to what the team is currently working on to facilitate a successful mainnet launch in the coming months. So we first want to go into what the current focus for this month is, fits in perfectly with the monthly community update. And right now we are working on the last stress test before the node client release. And we've just kind of shown you some of the main testing scenarios and also the metrics that we want to collect so that you can get an insight into what we are working on behind the scenes. So there are 5 main categories that we are testing on. The first one is the peak transaction volume. So essentially just a simulation of extreme transaction volumes with the goal to collect defined metrics on the maximum number of transactions processed by the network per second under a real life circumstances, of course. Then the second main testing scenario is a node failure simulation, which is really important for the network to just have a ongoing liveness, so that it basically results in constant uptime. This basically includes randomly taking down nodes and then testing the network resilience and how the network behaves, and also the auto recovery features. And one metric that we do really want to test is like the time it takes for a node to sync after it has been taken offline, which significantly is showing us how long it actually also takes for a node to completely sync with the network to start being able to participate in consensus, as each node will need the full network state for participating in full consensus. And then the third major scenario one test is smart contract execution, especially for really complex smart contract structures and also smart contracts that through composability interact with each other, where we want to evaluate the execution environment and also the processing times and the efficiency in terms of costs. And the main metrics we will collect are frequency of transaction failure, timeouts, or rejected transactions that all impact the way users use our network and impact the usability in general or the user experience. The fourth major testing scenario is general network latency. That's us introducing artificial delays into certain specific procedures running on the node clients, and then basically get our learnings in terms of the impact on consensus and transaction finality. And our main metric will be the time delay in communication between nodes and how it impacts the stability of our network. Something that we do not see as a big impact, but still worth a last test before we fully release the node client. And then something also of very much importance is the DDoS attack simulation. Basically us purposely emulating an attack on the network to just generally test the network security and also just test the CPU, memory, and bandwidth usage across all nodes, and test if our basic crisis response in such a simulation works out the way it is intended. These are all focus points for September. And when all these tests have been conducted successfully and we gain the results that we anticipate, we will progress to the major next focus point, which will be the node client release and the airdrop campaign for our testnet and our run up to the mainnet, which we can go over on the next slide. And there you can see we are now really progressing the release of our mainnet. And there are just 3 major steps left that we have depicted on this slide. As you can see, on the left side with the now in purple above it is the September stress tests, as we call them. And after them, once conducted successfully, we will start with the node client rollout and the airdrop campaign. The node client rollout itself will be conducted in 2 steps. First permissioned and then permissionless, and will just be conducted on the initial Golang client. And the airdrop campaign will be set up alongside the node client rollup, and this is a release of various tasks and campaigns, also pre-migration tasks with the general goal of attracting builders, tokenization specialists, and general users onto our network and into our community itself. And with that, gain an insight about the major 3 steps we are working on. It has been asked a lot, and we will release more information during September and October on the step 2 and step 3.
All right, perfect. Kai Lucas, thank you very much. With that, let's jump right into ONINO content. We're not going to make it longer than needed. We announced it last community update, and this community update, we're there. We are going to start releasing the new ONINO white paper and the ONINO videos this week. So stay tuned. There will be some pretty cool updates. I think you're going to like that a lot. Alongside that, you've seen we've had a new logo animation. We have new designs in the blog for some time. So we're working on more and more things to, on one hand, bring the ONINO brand identity further, to strengthen it, and on the other hand, to really, bring ONINO out there, have it recognizable, have people talking about it, bring in new content because you've been asking for that. And really happy to release that really soon. So now it's question time. Just as we tested last community update, this time as well, we want to do it in written form again. So feel free to go on Twitter, on YouTube comments, on Telegram, and ask in the chat. We will be monitoring and answering all your questions. So we'll give it a couple minutes, and then feel free to have all your questions. We will be answering them, as I said. We're going to end the video now, but we're going to hop in the chat and have a discussion with you there. So thank you very much for listening, and feel free to ask any questions, as I said, and not just now, the whole month, we're there to answer them. So again, thank you very much for joining, and have a great day, and talk to you soon.
Thank you all. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Have a great evening, everyone.